are back. It's the Alex Jones Show. It's the Alex Jones Show. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. I'm so used to doing the Alex Jones Show, I think I'm losing my mind. The other day, on Monday, Alex didn't come here till like 5 of, and everybody, hey, Bermas, you doing the show today? Hey, Bermas, you doing the show? Hey, is Alex not coming in? Are you doing the show today, Bermas? So now sometimes when I'm doing my show, I think I'm doing the Alex Jones Show. No, it's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. We're on the line with High Def. He's asking me what's going on with Arizona We Are Change. They ran a big program to hand out 10,000 Obama deceptions to ASU students before he went there. He just spoke there. And I don't have any information on that. If anybody did attend the event, hopefully they'll call in and give us the scoop. What else you got for me, High Def?
Yeah, man. I'm over here in Santa Cruz, California, and I actually sent you a message to your MySpace about this. There's a guy here who I just recently found out, and he's been having legal trouble since 2003. He actually got they tried to kill him. The sheriff department actually tried killing him, and it was and then the sheriff guy ended up resigning that year. It turns out, I've been looking into it. It turns out this guy was he's a wealthy entrepreneur here in the Silicon Valley area. He has a great resume. He's worked with many companies around here, and he was actually building a way better internet than we have today. With it was like far advanced, and he believes that's one of the reasons they're going after him. But basically, they've taken his kids. That he's divorced. They've taken his kids. They've taken his house, which his father paid for completely. They just evicted him without a jury or trial or anything. They keep bringing all these false accusations on him, and as it turns out, the only judge in town who is got a reputation for being fair. When that judge was going to hear his case, that judge actually mysteriously died a week before he got to hear his case. And
well, if what you're saying is true, man, I mean, the bottom line is they don't want a competing internet. They want a controlled internet too. They don't want an open source internet too. And who knows? I do remember seeing something on that email, but I didn't see a lot of source articles. So, I got to just take your word for it. I report what I can prove. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I sent you the a video because he actually started up a couple of websites based on this. He was never even into politics or any of this, and he explains it in the video that I linked it in a message to your MySpace.
Yeah, it was a video. That's right. Yeah, like I said, man, I got to stick to what I can see on the news agencies and, what they report on, whether they give us propaganda or not. That's what I feed off of and try to expose. I appreciate the call. Let's jump to Jesse in Texas. Jesse, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Jason?
How you doing?
Dude, I'm surprised they haven't kicked me off of MySpace because, okay, check it out. I actually copied and pasted the website Infowars.com as my user screen name, and they haven't said anything about it, which is kind of weird because I don't know, I guess they're kind of like you shouldn't have that, but screw these people. It's and I've been trying to tell people about this, but it seems like they really don't care, and I'm like, come on, there's who cares about Britney Spears or, what the hell's happening with her, But anyways,
well, most people, you're right, man. Most people do care more about Angelina and Brad maybe breaking up, maybe having another kid. They want to know about the new Quentin Tarantino movie with Brad. And they want to know about Michael Phelps' threesome, man. I'm sorry. That's just the way things are. I mean, that's... go ahead.
Yeah, and it is true. Oh, and since I'm right near Mexico, a person died of the... whatever the flu is called, and
the swine flu.
Yeah, people.
Now wait a minute. Yeah, they died. This person died. Are you talking about the teacher?
No.
The kid, the 2-year-old.
Yeah.
The 2-year-old man. Again, he is a Mexican citizen. He had chronic illnesses beforehand. He was a premature birth. He didn't die of the swine flu. Nobody in this country has died of the swine flu. We need to stop saying that and repeating that myth. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I said, and I'm at school, and now this guy's like, person died, of this flu. It's like, dude, one person freaking died. We're not gonna all die. I don't know, but anyways, I just find your show, and also Alex's show. Very informative. And, yeah, so hopefully, they won't kick, hopefully they won't take off my profile for
Yeah, well, let's hope that they don't censor anybody else who's trying to get the InfoWars message out there. I thank you for the call, Jesse. Let's go to Greg in Minnesota. Greg, you're on the line.
Hello there, Jason. This is Greg, and yes, I have some ideas I'd like to bounce off you as far as tactics. Now, I agree with you that the flu was man-made, and of course, the media, they're portraying it as being an accident. Well, I don't believe it. I don't believe that. But what if we take them as their word, hold their feet to the fire, and see who they throw under the bus? See how fast they try to say, "Well, let's forgive and forget." And the thing is, there have been people that have done much less things than starting the swine flu and have ended up in jail. So, I mean, it would show their hypocrisy, what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, people act, and can you turn down that radio? People act like the CIA has never released a bioweapon. Meanwhile, I'm reading mainline reports from the San Francisco Chronicle, 1977, where they released the swine virus, the African swine virus, in Cuba on the population. They've done this before. And then you say, well, I don't think you should take this vaccination by Baxter because Baxter just got caught sending out vaccinations with 2 live bird flu viruses and a live human virus in it. And they're like, no, that's a conspiracy theory. Then I'm like, well, what about in the late 50s and 60s where they admitted that they put SV40 in the vaccinations, in the polio vaccinations, and had to pay out on that? People are just like, oh, that's the past. They'd never do that again. And then I'm like, well, what about the injectable factor 8 bear medicine that gave people AIDS in this country? They knew it was doing it. And then they shipped it overseas without warning anybody to turn a profit. I mean, how many times do we have to be poisoned by, a needle before we wake up and say no more?
Exactly. I just watched and just got the Obama deception yesterday. Wonderful. Kudos to you guys and to Alex. And I came up with an idea, because he touched on the riots, what they tried to make of it in Denver with the protests and those.
Well, let's talk about that for a second, because that's so far in the past now. That's about a year ago, and we were reporting on it pretty heavily then. But all of a sudden, this organization named Recreate 68 appears out of nowhere. You go to their website, they're encouraging people to bring red paint, throw it on them. They had an actual Shield book PDF file where they were telling you how to show up in combat gear to combat the police in riot gear. I mean, they were trying to provoke violence there, and we exposed it. It didn't happen.
Well, what if there were some younger people than I that could take 1 or 2 of those provocateurs and do a citizen's arrest, turn them into the police as being a good citizen? In other words, turn it against them. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
you know what? I got to tell you, unfortunately, that's wishful thinking. I don't know if you saw the story about, I think this was 18 months ago, but you just type it in. There was a small Canadian protest. We're talking about maybe 15, 20 people, right? Now the cops show up in full jackboot uniform. Now, one of the guys who's on the side of the protester, he's the only guy who has his face masked, okay? He's trying to make it into an anarchist thing, and he's picking up cinder blocks and rocks and trying to encourage everybody to throw them at the cops, right? Now, every single person there is pointing at him, and this is on YouTube. You can see it's going, no, you're a cop. We know you're a cop. And he's like, no. We need to get these cops. We need anarchy. And then the one of them points at his boots and goes, you're wearing the same exact boots as all of the police officers standing here. Literally within 30 seconds, they violently arrest this guy. And then they have to come out and admit, yeah, he was a provocateur. Yeah, he was working for the police department. And no, he didn't get in trouble, sir.
Well, I think if more of that is done, it might help to bring the mainstream media into the discussion of these things.
Well, I hope so, but I encourage you to take a look at that story when you see that. Show it to other non-like-minded people that aren't awake yet, because I wish it were that simple. I wish it were as simple in 2000 when they did the same thing in Seattle, where we could have just been like, all right, that guy's a cop, he's provocatoring that idiot over there. But, they keep it compartmentalized. They act like they can do this. They are above us. They are our lords. I appreciate the call, sir. Let's go to John in California. John, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me okay?
You got it.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
We got an echo, but listen, I wanted to go back to the topic of the flu, okay? I live in Ventura County in Southern California. It's about an hour and a half north of L.A. So just the other day, I heard on